So it was a bit of a social gathering for people who worked in a particular area of tech, a little bit of an outlet. And I mean, when I imagine a, let's say, quote unquote traditional sysadmin, and they are in a big data center or in a dark room without a window with a lot of servers that are noisy, and it sounds a little bit of a lonely job in a way. And the other experience that I do have, not necessarily with always sysadmins, but those people who are operating infrastructure, software and hardware infrastructure. And whenever you get them to a room, and no matter what mission the session has, it always turns into sharing quote unquote war stories. So they are the people who have a lot of things happening to them, and obviously they meet people when they need something because something is broken. They're already frustrated, and it's tough. So like a big chunk of the time is always people sharing what went wrong, what's not working, and just really, you know, get that frustration out of their heads. And I always feel like that's just the most helpful sometimes that you can do, to provide a forum where they can come together with others who totally understand their frustration, what happened to them, why maybe they have a similar story, and then everyone feels that, okay, it isn't just happening to me. And then at one point, sometimes they can also figure out what went wrong in one place and what the solution is for that if the person hasn't found it yet. But a really big chunk of these gatherings, even with the most, you know, clear mission and technical goal and whatever, it's like just that social aspect of the gathering. And it sounds like that you created this space for people where they could be with others who understand them.
Spot on. I couldn't have put it better. It's exactly that. And again, like these videos that went viral, they went viral because of that. That's how we framed it, and that's how we characterized the sysadmins and the thing that we were suffering. And it is true in many cases, and it was my own experience. From 2013, from January 2013 to January 2014, I worked for this company, and I was the only sysadmin in a 300-person company. And I was on call for a whole year, 365 days and nights. And actually, the community is what really got me through that. And I would like go on IRC during like business hours and ask people like, "Hey, I'm having this problem. It's not working." People would help me, and of course, I would try to help others. But people still show around that I created Sysadmin because I needed it, and it is true. I needed it. I needed a community of people that could help me, and that wasn't distracted about the Linux distribution that I use or didn't use, or the text editor or whatever. And the other thing that we started doing right off, and this was like again the magic of the community, it started to happen that we got together every 2 weeks to have like in-person beers. Again, not talks, not meetups. Meetups weren't anything back then. I'm talking earlier than that. So we go to this bar and we had a table, and people would show up, and then we had another table and another table, and suddenly we were like occupying and modifying the whole layout of the bar, because there were probably like 50, 60 people around, and going to have smoke outside or like moving the things around. And again, tech was the common driver, but it wasn't all about tech.
I totally understand. And it like we always say, like said a lot of times on this podcast too, that when it comes to open source, like when someone starts a project, for example, it's usually to scratch their own itch. I think is what people in English say, because I'm also not a native English speaker, but I think that is the term that we most often use, and it sounds like that you also did have an itch, but you really wasn't the only one in the area.